Hey guys, it's Natasha and welcome back to my channel, and I hope you guys are having a great and wonderful day. For today's video, we are sharing knowledge. I want you to be educated. I don't want you to go into this car purchasing journey blindsided. I want you to save as much money as you can, and I also don't want you to make the same mistakes that I did. We are trying to thrive on a budget. We're not trying to spend all our coin because frankly, most of us don't have all that coin. I did not have the $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 to go into a dealership and just like, meeny, miny, mo, pick a car and then like skedaddle out of there. Most of us don't have that kind of money. So here are some things that I wish I knew before I bought a car, buying it low budget, buying a used car, making the best decisions. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so before we get all into the nitty-gritty details, if you want to see a more step-by-step process of every single step that I took in order to buy my first used vehicle at 18 years old in great conditions, I have this video right here. It is a fantastic video. It is jam-packed with a lot of good information. If you're looking more for a behind the scenes, me trying out the car, more laid back video, you can go ahead and watch this video right here. Today, I'm just sharing additional information that I wish that I knew before I bought my first car and that everyone should know. And I want to start with my car specs so you guys know what kind of car that I bought. I bought a 2004 Nissan Altima in white. It had about 100 to 110,000 miles. It retailed for $3,200 and I bought it for $2,800. We need to be able to hustle, get our car, do the things that we need to do with our car, but also not break the bank. So here are a couple of tips. Okay, the very first thing that you need to do is your research. You need to find a car that is suitable for you. Something that's not going to cost you a lot on gas, something that's going to be lasting you a long time, something that's not going to cost you a lot to repair. Cars that are more expensive have more expensive parts. Thus, they're gonna cost more money to repair. If you buy a car that is more reasonable and also reliable, you're not gonna have to spend that much money on repair. You can do car comparisons on Google. It's super easy. You just type one model versus the other and they'll do a side-by-side comparison and all these things and much more that I have not mentioned. This will help you make the most informed decision to see which car you're going to start to look at. So after you choose the model that suits for you and have looked at a couple of models that could work for you and your budget, you can start looking for those cars and see if there are any on sale. You need to see the car in person. And this is where all the little Easter bunnies will come out that will not show in the pictures. A lot of the pictures that I saw when I was buying my car would only show the exterior of my car. And when I got there, I realized why. There would be some chips in the paint. They would have some spills on the seat. Some of the things would not go well as they had described. So it is very, very important for you to take time, go check the car yourself. If you have the opportunity to bring a mechanic with you, that is the best option possible. I'm not an expert. The car looks perfectly fine to me. I don't know what the internal works are looking like. I don't know if it's messed up. So you need to bring someone who has a little bit of knowledge with cars with you, especially if you're buying a used car, to see everything that's wrong with the car and to see if it's worth the purchase. I brought a mechanic with me, as I mentioned in my last video, and you guys have been asking me what if I don't have a mechanic. Here are some things that my mechanic told me to watch out. First thing is checking the lights. Make sure the left turn signal, right turn signal, both in the front and the back are working. Checking for windows. Sometimes you get in a car and you start clicking all the windows button and they're like, oh yeah, that one's broken, and they didn't mention that in the description when you were looking at the cars, or some of the buttons don't work, or the air conditioning doesn't work. Any chips, stains, and spills, you need to make sure to look at the outside of the car, look at the inside of the car, and see everything that's wrong with the car. If you're willing to buy a car with a little spill on it or a little scratch, this could be a point of negotiation. You can ask for $100, $50 off for the cost that it's gonna take you to replace that, or even if you don't want to replace it, but there's still a chip or a stain and you want to get some price off, this would be a good point of negotiation for that. Another thing to look for is you have to take the car on a test drive. Just because a car is sitting there all beautifully doesn't mean that there's something wrong. When you're taking the car on a test drive is where all the true colors come out. Make sure you're driving the car for at least 20 minutes. 5 minutes is not gonna cut it. It's not gonna show you the things that are wrong. When you're driving the car for a long distance, for a long period of time, you're gonna start to see the lights flashing up in the dashboard. Maybe there's something wrong with the oil or there's something wrong with the engine, and those lights will start to appear the longer you start driving your car. Another thing is driving the car for more than 80 to 85 miles per hour. This is where more true colors will come, because here you can see how is the stability of the car, how the stability of the wheels, and if the car starts being shaky. When you're driving at a very high mileage per hour, these things will come out, and if the car starts to shake, then you know there might be something wrong with the balance of the wheels. Next thing to check is obviously the wheels of the car and asking the last time that they replaced them, because that is a whole other expense in itself, something between $500 and $700. So you want to have all this information, and these are just a couple things to look out for if you're going by yourself, if you don't have a mechanic and you don't know that much about cars. The second thing you want to look at is where you're going to buy your car from. I particularly bought a used car. I did not have the coin to go to a dealership and buy a brand new car. I did not have the coin to go to a dealership and buy a used car. At the dealership, used cars are a little bit more expensive than what you would find in the market yourself. They have to add commissions, all that stuff, and the price goes up a little bit. If you want to refrain from getting those costs, I would recommend buying it from an individual themselves. There's a lot of pages that you can go to and get your car. I specifically looked at the Facebook Marketplace. Facebook has this area where you can pretty much buy anything. I just put cars in my area, and then a bunch came up of people that were selling their own cars, and that's where I selected the car that I wanted to buy. Okay, so next thing is your negotiation skills. Come on, girl, you're gonna learn to speak your truth, stand your ground, and get what you deserve, the price that you deserve for the car that you're buying. A lot of people raise up their prices to get even more of a bigger profit, but you need to do your research. Something that I mentioned in my step-by-step video is using Kelley Blue Book. This is wonderful, amazing. If you don't know what Kelley Blue Book is, it is a website that you can put all the speculations of the car that you're looking. If you have all the list of all the features and the specifications of the car that you want to buy, you go into Kelley Blue Book, you put select use, you put the year, how much mileage it has, if it has any damage into it, and then it'll calculate an average market price of what the car is actually worth. And you're gonna go ahead, compare that market price that they're giving you to the price that they're selling it. And if the person is charging you a lot of money, a lot more than what the car is worth, that is where you start negotiating. My car was listed at $3,200. When I put my car in Kelley Blue Book, it said that you could pay anything from $2,800 to $3,000. So I went ahead and negotiated with her, and I got my price down to $2,800. Another thing that I recommend is if you're buying a used car, paying with cash. If you have the opportunity to have all the money up front with you, that would be fantastic, because if you do financing or if you do other forms of payment methods, then that might cost you a little bit more because there's interest involved. But if you pay with cash, some of the sellers are willing to reduce the price because you're paying right there and then, or you can even avoid those extra costs in the finances and interest that would come along the way if you're deciding to pay in part. However, if you can't afford to pay the whole card in full, that is okay. Pay it how you like. That's just my personal recommendation, to pay it as a whole right off the bat. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found something helpful in it. Again, if you want to see a step-by-step process of every single thing I did to buy my first car, I have that video for you guys. If you want to see more behind the scenes of me trying out the cars and having fun with that, then watch this video. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram and my TikTok, both at natasha.matherin. Also, don't forget to follow and subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can see more of my videos weekly. I post every single Wednesday. Comment down below, give this video a thumbs up, let me know what you want to see next. I want to be able to share my knowledge with you guys so you guys can save your coin, because we are all in this together. Save coin and thrive together. That is our motto. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.